Are we seeing maybe Aric Almirola reconsider on his retirement? Racing Boys is reporting that maybe Almirola is having second thoughts. Recall that Aric had announced that maybe at the end of 2022, rather, that he'd be stepping away from the sport full-time and maybe would entertain part-time rides. But when pressed on the issue, and he's been pressed on it seems like on a weekly basis, excuse me, he had said, I don't know, we're still talking about it. There's a lot of factors, moving parts, a lot of people involved in the decision-making process. He says that he's one small part of it. He's been listening and he's been a part of discussions, and we'll see. But guys, I don't know. I don't know if we have a clear front runner to have a replacement in that 10 car. I mean, we would have probably thought Ryan Preece was that guy at the beginning of the year, but maybe Almirola's back in 23. What do you guys think?
It's an interesting situation, David, because you have Smithfield that came on board to the 10 car with Almirola from Richard Petty Motorsports. So there's an established relationship there. Stewart-Haas had, before Kevin Harvick's wins these last 2 weeks, their performance has not been as good the last couple of years. And then you have Ryan Preece involved. Cole Custer is still in that organization and hasn't performed great. And then, of course, there's also the Kyle Busch factor as well, with Kyle Busch being a free agent and, the whole deal with Gibbs not being able to find sponsorship and such. With that right now, I would say that the betting odds probably changed. Aric Almirola is probably the favorite to be back in that 10 car next year.
Man, I'm curious to hear Jeremy's thoughts on this, but man, when you got a major sponsor like Smithfield and their engagement and their involvement in the sport and they're passionate about and they love their driver, that's a good marriage from a sponsor driver standpoint. Why would you step away from that? Well, the Stewart-Haas organization has, they're a little bit behind since this new next gen car has came into play. But it looks like to me they've been catching up here last couple of months. And to see Kevin Harvick's 2 wins the last 2 weeks, I don't know, Aric Almirola, I don't know why you would want to leave that. You got a next gen car, something new. It looks like the Stewart-Haas team. This thing, it's always evolving. 1 year, 2 years, you're on top of the world, and the next year you're struggling. You know what I mean? But it looks like they're kind of coming out of it. And you got a major sponsor that wants you to still participate. They want to support you with an organization like Stewart-Haas. I think even Jeremy Mayfield drove for Gene Haas, if I remember right. But, man, you're talking about, that guy's passionate. He wants to win. Tony Stewart. Why would you step away from that? I was really shocked for him to announce that, hey, the 2022 was going to be his final year because, he's so young. And man, it wouldn't surprise me if he stepped back and said, hey, I'm gonna race another year. Why wouldn't you? We want to win, you want to race. And Jeremy will tell you, I'll tell you, man, to have the funding behind you and a sponsor like that with that organization, we want to win. Why would you step away from a winning an opportunity like that? So I think I wouldn't be surprised to see him come back.
Yeah, I feel the same way, David. When I heard that, I was like, it didn't make sense. I didn't know why he would want to retire so young and having everything there. They're just now getting rolling, and really starting to run good. It didn't make sense to me either. So, maybe he just doesn't want to race anymore. Who knows? But that'd be totally different than what, you or I would be thinking because we're racers, And so I don't know, but if I was him, I'd stay there probably for a while and ride it out and get all you can get and then leave. But that's a little young to be retiring, I feel like.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dominic, I would think in Stewart-Haas's case, if they can't get Kyle Busch or Smithfield doesn't want Kyle Busch, Aric Almirola being back next year and with somebody that Smithfield is comfortable with is probably their best option for that 10 car for next year. For the short term, if Almirola wants to race, if they can't get Kyle Busch, that's probably their next best bet.
I think so. And in a way, it kind of reminds me of the situation in 2005 when Mark Martin was set to retire. And he said, hey, I'll come back if Jack Roush can't find another driver for 2006. It's kind of a similar situation. Maybe Almirola didn't say that publicly, but maybe he is going to reconsider. Maybe he is back for one more year. And I know one of the reasons he had said he did want to step away was because he still wanted to spend time with his kids while his kids thought he was still cool. So maybe he delays that one more year to have, like you said, David, another opportunity to run this next gen car. Stewart-Haas is definitely figuring things out. They're looking really, really good. maybe we're not seeing the last of Aric Almirola.